What's up, everybody? It's Balls back here with I don't know if this is called a Madden cast or a college cast, but regardless, we're back for another cycle, first episode of a college football show. I guess to be named at a later date. Got Denim with me tonight. Denim, how's it going?
It's going good, man. College football 25. The awesome name they come up with and took the NCAA name out. So,
I don't know.
loving it.
They had to do, I guess, a certain some things to avoid lawsuits. I don't know. Some of the stuff they do never amazes me.
Yeah.
But regardless, we got the game back. It's something to be happy about.
Yes,
So
we did.
tonight, just gonna come in here, gonna kind of discuss, you know, pretty much the rule book. Um, gonna get it topped up tomorrow and loaded into the server over the weekend. So we'll discuss that, kind of what you can expect for college football 25 for MHU, and then we're going to discuss talk about team reveal and the conference realignment. So um, pretty excited about it. You've seen the conferences, you've seen the teams. You know who has the teams just for the show
Mm.
purposes.
Yep.
But there's some surprises.
Yeah,
Uh,
there is.
should be should be a good cycle. I think we've got the conferences aligned how we need them. How do you feel about it before we?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it broke up pretty good. Like, even with the teams that, people picked, you're given all these teams to pick from. And honestly, we really didn't. I mean, obviously, we have to move some stuff. That is what I was thinking. When you have this variety of teams and so many conferences, and we're talking about putting them, which I don't want to spoil it, but putting them into five different conferences basically.
Yep.
It just it worked out pretty well, a lot better than what I thought it was going to.
Yeah. I mean, we went through I think ultimately three revisions, and kind of got where we felt pretty good about it. So do you want to start? You want to start with team reveal and conference realignment, or do you want to do the rule book first? What do you think?
Yeah, we can just start with the teams.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll jump into it. I feel like I'm uh, what's his name on CBS about to reveal the NCAA March Madness bracket.
I
Uh,
know.
but so what we'll do is I'll start with the conferences. I'll pull them up. Excuse me, two conferences are going to kind of have the same rules as far as user games, computer games, scheduling your non-conference games. Then two other leagues, two other conferences are going to kind of have a little bit different um, rules and regulations on computer games and scheduling their non-conference games, and then one league is just completely different. So as I bring them up, I'll kind of give you the breakdown on that, and kind of explain it the best I can over the video, to avoid any confusion and questions. So all right, so we'll get started. We'll just start with the Pac-12. The Pac is back, um, bringing them back. Kind of stuck with the group of, or not the group of five, the Power Five conferences. So the Pac-12 basically, don't want to say it's the bottom conference, but I mean between it and the Big 12, those are the two bottom conferences that have the 2-star programs, the 3-star programs, some users that aren't necessarily as good as some of the other users, and that was kind of our thinking behind it. Kind of, we want everybody to have fun. It's college football. It should be completely different from Madden, where you're just getting the crap beat out of you week in and week out, playing powerhouses and stacked teams and all that. So we wanted these users to have fun and have a chance. And at the end of the day, I mean, winning a Pac-12 championship or a Big 12 championship, it's a big accomplishment. So,
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
so we'll get the Pac-12 pulled up right here. It's going to have 8 teams in it. You can't see this screen. I guess I could have shared my screen for you. But anyways, I got that graphic up. It's 8 teams. It's going to be Arizona, Arizona State, Boise State, Iowa State, San Diego State, and Wisconsin. Those are going to be the 6 human controlled programs. And then you got Washington and Washington State as computer teams in the conference. So first conference we're showing, obviously, like I said, has eight teams. Just going to kind of get into the rules for scheduling purposes. You're going to play 7. The Pac-12 will play 7 conference games, so you'll play everybody in the conference. So you'll play 5 users, and then 2 computer games. So that means you have 5 non-conference games left over. Out of those 5 conference games, we decided that you're going to schedule 4 users to play non-conference to ultimately give you 9 total games out of your 12, so 75% of your schedule against a human, um, and then 3 games against a computer. So,
Yep.
How that's going to work is those 4 games you're going to schedule. At least 3 of those. Our goal ultimately is to get all 4 of them aligned with the Big 12. The Big 12 and the Pac-12 is going to kind of have an alliance where um, y'all play each other in the non-conference, or as much as you can. If we have to go
Yeah.
out and schedule an ACC, Big 10, or SEC team, we will. But that's the goal: kind of keep these bottom 2 conferences playing each other as much as possible, just to kind of keep it fair. Because, like I said, I mean, you're looking at the schools: Arizona State, old Pac-12 schools. Boise State, that's a Mountain West school. Iowa State and Wisconsin, they're probably the 2 best programs in here. You got San Diego State, which is from the Mountain West, with Boise. So definitely Wisconsin is probably the best program.
Oh, for sure.
But we want it to be as even as possible. So let's get into who's going to coach these teams. Now that we kind of talked about the breakdown of how scheduling is going to work, and we'll kind of wrap it up at the end of this video talking about scheduling. But
Hey, and I just want to say one thing on that real quick before you move on.
yeah,
That one computer game, that extra computer game that you're going to schedule for the people in this, I recommend you schedule that against a very strong or top 25 computer team, and just to help out your team. I mean, you're going to need TV games, TV ratings, all that stuff plays a part on like the NIL and stuff on here. Obviously, we don't actually have NIL, but brand reputation or brand whatever it is, that stuff matters. And playing those tough games makes a big difference. So just something to think about. I know we're putting these lower teams into the alliance, but just something I ran into, that scheduling that against a pretty good computer team and just hoping to God that you beat them. It really helps with those things for these small schools. So just like in real life, you play a bigger school as one of these small teams and you beat them and upset them. I mean, it's a lot of money coming into your program and a lot of recognition and TV time that you normally wouldn't get. So just a side note there.
yeah, good point. Glad you brought that up. All right, so let's jump in. We'll just go in, I guess, alphabetical order. Arizona, the head coach for Arizona is going to be Big Mike. He's going to be leading the Arizona Wildcats. The next team is Arizona State, the Sun Devils. That's going to be the head coach there is going to be yours truly, Mr. Denham.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. 10 alternate uniforms, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a
So
little mini Oregon.
yeah, they've got some nice helmets. I've always kind
Yeah.
of thought that, but Boise State, it's kind of funny. You were talking in chat a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, that you
Yeah.
didn't want to play on that blue field, and it just kind of worked out to where you are going to
Where
play
I'm
on that
gonna
blue field.
guaranteed to play on it once a year.
Yeah, well, once every 2 years, but yeah, won't have to do it too much, but definitely we'll have to play on it. The head coach there in Boise is going to be, let me see, YBO Wood.
Yep, would.
Kind of had to look for that for a minute. Um, Iowa State leading the Cyclones is going to be Gordo, and then San Diego State is going to be head coached by a new guy in MHU. Goes by Feds. It's Shadow, I believe Shadow's buddy. Um, Scouting report I have on him is he's a solid user. He's made playoffs in Madden leagues. So
Nice.
we'll see how it translates to college. And then
And
Wes, go ahead.
he's just got a nice program to start with. I mean, it's not top tier, but San Diego State's not, bottom of the barrel, and it's an exciting team with some cool uniforms as well. So
Yeah, and
I'm sure he's loving that. So
well, yeah, and it's his favorite team too. So
yeah,
I'm
so
sure
even
he's
better when you.
yeah
That's what we're here for. Get you your
right.
favorite team.
And then Wisconsin is going to be led by Sporty. So
Oh, sporty.
I know some of
And
y'all
that
probably saw Wisconsin and thought, why is Wisconsin in here with these other programs? And um, it's because Sporty's the coach. Sporty's traditionally been one of the bottom, 7 to 10 users. So he's in this league, but he has a powerhouse against
yes, he does.
5 other teams that really aren't a powerhouse. So I think Sporty will do good. Wisconsin fits him good. He'll be able to run the ball,
Yep,
pretty
which is
much running
important
back
for
Edie.
him.
Yeah, be able to run the ball, play good defense, can recruit well. So I'm excited for Sporty. I think Sporty will
And
have a
Sporty was always good at drafting in Madden. Like no matter how his gameplay was,
right.
Sporty always seemed to have good drafts. So in the simulations I've run in this Pac-12, Wisconsin's had the number one class out of there every time, and obviously it's computer. But with his knowledge and being able to draft good, I just see him being able to recruit like a beast. And I'm pretty nervous about it. I hope Wisconsin don't come in and just take all my players. So we'll see how it works out. But I think he did a really good job of making Wisconsin his team. So
Yep, I agree with you. All right, so that's what the Pac-12 is going to look like.
the
For
mini Pac-12.
Yep, to kick off this cycle. So all right, we will move on to their alliance partner, the Big
The
12.
Big 12.
So we've got, as you can see, I get it pulled up here. You got some teams in here. Kind of looks kind of like the old Big 12 in a way. Kind of looks a little bit Big Ten-ish. And then you just have that big big brand that just gets your attention right away. Like what is that program doing in this league?
Yep.
But again, we'll get to it. So we've got Kansas, we've got Kansas State, we've got Michigan State, Nebraska, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Rutgers, and Texas State. So we'll start first. Uh, we'll go in order. Kansas is going to be head coached by Jay Dix. It's also a new guy to the league. Big Mike's buddy. Don't believe might be his brother-in-law or
Yeah,
his buddy,
it
one of
is.
the two. But he's been active in chat. Kind of excited to see what he brings to the table. He's definitely got an upstart program in Kansas, good roster. We'll just see what what he can do with that program after the roster graduates. So be interesting to see. Kansas State is going to be a computer team.
Mm-hmm. Kept that
Uh,
rivalry there, though.
Yep. And you'll kind of see a theme with these conferences is we try to keep the rivalries alive, kind of like in the Pac-12. We didn't discuss it, but we had Washington and Washington State there as well. So, but Michigan State is going to be head coached by Pitt. He's going to be leading the Spartans. It's a pretty good team for him. I feel like he'll do a good job there. Nebraska, I'm sure everybody can guess who the head coach there is going to be. It's going to be Will Black Shirts.
He's going to run the ball a million times.
Yep. And then Notre Dame going to be head coached by old Papa Bear, Devo.
Got him in here after all.
Yep. He's excited. He wasn't really going to play. He's seen all the excitement about it and decided to give it a try. So he's going to be leading the Fighting Irish. Oklahoma State, surprisingly, nobody picked, but we kept them in the Big 12 computer team. Rutgers is going to be led by Retro Mike, leading Rutgers. And finally, Texas State is going to be head coached by Dub. So Texas State has surprisingly
yeah,
a very athletic roster.
Yes, they do. Fast quarterback, fast running back, 3 wide receivers that have 93 to 96 speed, basically. So, I mean, and some youth on there, too. Some backups that are freshmen or, sophomores, and they're locked and loaded and ready to go, too. So, some options there for a lower school. So, I'm excited to see what Dub does with that team.
Yep. But there again, kind of see what happens after that first year or two. If you can keep the program rolling by recruiting and all that good stuff. So,
yep.
But again, same thing here. 6 users, 8 teams, 7 conference games. So 5 against the human controlled teams, 2 against computer teams, and then you'll have your 5 non-conference games where hopefully all 4, if not all 4, at least 3 will be scheduled with the Pac-12 every season, and then you'll have that non-conference game that you'll get to choose who you can play. So, all right, you got anything else you want to say about the Big 12 before we move on to the Atlantic Coast Conference?
No, I mean the only big thing that stands out to me is this Devo. I mean, Devo had some good years in Madden. I mean, and him to start out with a powerhouse and one of the top overall teams like Notre Dame and to be put in this division, if he figures out college football and he actually enjoys it, he could be dangerous. So that's something to look out for there.
Yeah, I agree. He's always had a decent middle linebacker user on defense. Not so much since it kind of switched on next gen, but back in the day, I've seen him lead multiple leagues over the years in interceptions. So good program, good roster, good foundation. Can recruit well.
Yep.
He
sure.
definitely can
I know
leave his.
he don't
his
give a
stamp.
shit about college football, but if he finds some love for it and just the gameplay style, I think he could be really dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we'll move on to the ACC.
This is where it gets fun.
Yep. So we've got the ACC here. As you can see, there's only 4 ACC teams out of the 8 in here. What jumped out at me first was 3 SEC schools in the ACC. And then you got the one lone Big 12 school as well. But yeah, it's going to be a fun league. We'll get into the teams and
And
who's
why it's
coaching
set
who.
up that way.
Yep.
Yep. It's a good
Um,
mix, though. I mean, it looks weird. You're like, well, why is this there? And, but it'll make sense soon. And honestly, ACC might have to actually do that in real life to stay alive because it's about to be they're about to become the SEC very soon. So
yeah, that's very true. All right, so ACC again, 8 teams, 6 users. Uh, Kind of the same thing here as the other two schools. Playing 7 conference games, right? Seven
yep,
conference
yep,
games.
set up the
Five,
same way.
yeah, 5 against the humans, 2 against the computer. Everybody plays the same conference schedule. The only difference here is you don't have that alliance with the Big 12 and the Pac 12. You don't have an alliance with anybody. You pretty much have free reign to go out. You got to schedule 4 non-conference games against Big Ten or SEC opponents. Um, if we have to, not really sure how this is going to work out. If we have to, and have the Big 12 or the Pac-12 schedule some games with the ACC, then that's what we'll do. We're prepared to do that, but we'll just see how it works. That's not our plan starting out, but
Plans
uh,
depending on what EA lets us do here,
yeah,
and once we actually get our hands on a league with actual 32 people in it, then we'll see
yeah,
how it works out. But on paper, it looks like you should be okay and not have to. But
yeah. Well, I mean,
as we know,
everybody's got a plan till you get hit in the mouth. So, but we'll jump in and reveal these head coaches. So, starting first with Clemson, gonna be head coached by a new guy in MHU. Well, I wouldn't say new. He was part of Madden last
yeah,
cycle, but newish, and that's Vapor. He comes over to be the head coach of the Clemson Tigers. Next up, Colorado will be head coached by Jordan. That's He was the who did he have in Madden last year? Denver, I believe. Broncos, pretty sure. Could be wrong, but pretty sure that's where he's at. But solid user in Madden, really good. I remember him making playoffs
oh
quite a
yeah,
bit, upsetting some big names. So interested to see what he's gonna do with Colorado. There again, kind of like some of these other schools in the other conferences. Good starting roster. It's just gonna be, can you keep that foundation that Dion's kind of laid and be able to recruit and get some athletes in after you lose Shador and Hunter. So we'll see. But still excited. I think he can do some pretty good things in the ACC. Next up, Florida State is Canoe. He gonna be leading the Seminoles. He's a pretty good user.
yeah, he is
Won the AFC South quite a bit last cycle, if not every
dominated.
season. Yeah, kind of renewing his rivalry there with Vapor and Clemson. So um, they had some games last year, I remember. So excited to kind of see that Florida State Clemson rivalry stay heated. Um, that'll be good for us. So LSU up next. That's gonna be Minden. He's gonna be taking the Tigers, hopefully to the promised land. It's his favorite team. Uh, Glad we was able to get him down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Miami, the U is a computer team.
Hmm.
NC State, also a computer team. And then you got Oklahoma, led by Mr. I Love Feet in Phoenix. That's also his favorite team. Gave me a big boomer sooner when I told him I was coming to Oklahoma this year for the Tennessee Oklahoma game, and he's excited for that matchup. He's excited to be head coach of the Sooners in our league. And then rounding it out, Ole Miss is going to be led by, I guess that's how you say his name, is Bauman. That's what I've always called him. I don't know if that's right, but Coastal's buddy. he's taking Ole Miss. So obviously, there's 3 Carolina fans, and not all of them could get Carolina. So he went with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. Um,
Not a
so
bad
yeah,
choice.
nope, not a bad choice at all. So you got you know, 3 SEC teams, 3 ACC teams, and then Colorado. So what's your thoughts on the ACC?
I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I mean, I could see, I mean, Vapor, Jordan, and Canoe definitely battling it out. And then Midden with a starting roster that's pretty good. We'll see what he does. So I'm excited. I mean, I think we broke it up pretty well. Obviously, there's a few teams that we would have liked to been able to put in there, but in order to get this scheduling right and limit the amount of computer games, sacrifices had to be made. So, but I think we managed to piece the ACC together pretty well.
Yeah, I'm pleased with it. Um, I think it turned out, as you said, really good. I mean, four ACC teams kind of kept those rivalries together. I mean, NC State's kind of a lone wolf. See what I did there. Florida State and Clemson, they got that rivalry, and then Florida State and Miami as well. So um, pretty good. So LSU and Florida State, they've kind of played that first game of the year the last 2 years. Kind of had a
Hmm.
rivalry, some good games.
Yeah,
And then LSU
some
and Ole
great
Miss,
games.
that's the Golden Boot. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's what their rivalry game's called, I believe. So definitely got some rivalries intact. Colorado, I'm sure will find a way to get a good rivalry. Them and Oklahoma go way back, so maybe they can start something up there. But yeah,
Then with
excited. Go
their
ahead.
swag and Miami's swag,
Yeah,
could
that's also true. And you also got the Dion factor, Florida State and Colorado. So um, a lot of good rivalries could be brewing in the ACC, and I'm excited about it. So all right, we'll move on to the Big Ten. This is going to be the last conference that has 8 teams in it. There's the Big Ten. So again, it's got 8 teams, 6 coaches, 2 computers. We'll jump into it. Kind of looks Big Tenish off the jump.
yeah, definitely
Um,
does.
I mean, I think seven of the 8 are Big Ten teams. So I mean, pretty pretty good.
Didn't have to edit this one too much.
No, not too much. But yeah, we'll jump straight into it. We got Illinois, we got Iowa, we've got Oregon, or excuse me, I'm going out of order. Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio State, Oregon State, and Penn State. And I could probably, if you didn't know who the coaches were for these teams, I could probably give you multiple guesses, and you probably couldn't tell me who the 2 computer teams are if you didn't already know. I think y'all are going to be surprised. So,
Yep.
um, obviously, Oregon State, they're going to be a human team, but the others could surprise you, maybe not. But we'll start with Illinois. That's it's going to be a computer team. I'd probably guess that one. Then you got Iowa, which is also going to be a computer team. So the remaining 6 are coached by humans. So we'll jump into that now. You got Michigan, led by OMG, little Nico. He's going to be replacing Harbaugh up there in Ann Arbor. Minnesota, going to be led by a new guy uh, named Claus. Um, he kind of asked him how good he was at Madden. Said he felt like he was decent. So we'll see how good his decent is because he's in a pretty tough conference.
Yes, he is.
Especially when the first team I mentioned is head coached by OMG, which some people
And it's
say,
Michigan.
yeah, some people say OMG is overrated. Some people, like myself, think he's pretty good. He just does some stupid stuff, like pull a Tom Brady, and think it's fourth down, or think it's third down, and spikes the ball on fourth down. So, but moving on to Ohio State, it's going to be led by Mickey. He got his Buckeyes. It's all he's talked about in Madden is if you're trading with Mickey, you
Yep.
better be
Send
trading
him
for the
Buckeyes.
Buckeyes.
Send him Buckeyes.
So now he's got all the Buckeyes he could ever dream for.
Just hope he can keep them.
Yep. So
Don't be transferring.
next is going to be Oregon. Their head coach is coming out of retirement. Old boss man, he's back. Glad to have him back. Excited to get him his favorite team and get him back in the league. So welcome back, boss, and go Ducks.
Oh,
Your rivalry is going to be with Alex. This is the new Alex to the league. This is not you know um, the the she-male
Shemale.
Alex that we used to call him, Beeman's buddy Alex. It's not him, not the Dolphins coach. This is Alex that had the Chiefs last year. Um, did pretty good in Madden, so he's got the Beavers and ready to take on this Big Ten. And then Penn State is going to round out the Big Ten, and they're going to be led by Waffle. So, um, you know, looking at it on paper as far as MHU goes, back into Madden, Mickey is a Super Bowl champion, and Waffle is also a Super Bowl champion. So you got two
You know,
guys out of the six that know how to get it done. OMG's obviously had multiple chances to get there, just come up short. Um, Bosses has been pretty solid. Alex is, I think, just as good. Definitely can make the playoffs. Um, I'm talking in Madden or in college football. So, and then Claw's kind of the new kid on the block in Minnesota. That's his favorite team. So we'll see what he can do with the Golden Gophers. What's kind of your thoughts on the Big Ten? What kind of stands out to you?
I mean, it's definitely gonna be a lot of running. I feel like in there, which suits that. So some good users, some guys that like to run the rock. And what about Waffle getting Penn State? Is that not like the most Waffle decision ever? Does he even like Penn State?
I don't know that he likes much in college football.
I
Let
don't
me
think
see.
so. I don't know. If you were to ask me what team Waffle would pick, I think Penn State would probably be in the top three. I don't know why. I don't know. Just seems like a good fit for him. So, but obviously, Boss getting Oregon and Mickey getting Ohio State, those are absolutely huge. I'm glad we were able to get those teams for them. So I know that they'll be committed to the cycle and putting in work and um, doing what they're doing in their offline just with us. So glad to have them both in here and excited to see some of these games and definitely gonna be watching some streams like Madden. I didn't really watch many people's streams, but there's just something about college football and seeing the entrances and just seeing these teams and like I'm definitely gonna be watching some streams. So
Yeah, yeah. There's just so much with college football that just gets you excited, and I don't know. I might get some hoop tees and tailgate and watch a few games, maybe. I don't know.
put a few on.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So, um, but yeah, Big Ten, like I said, I think Penn State fits Waffle perfectly. I think Michigan fits OMG perfectly. Um, and I mean Mickey, I'm excited to see what he does with his Buckeyes. So, um, should be a good conference season here. I mean, really, you look at it, and about the only person I rule out that can't really win the conference is Claus, and that's just because I don't know much about him. He could sneak
Exactly.
up and win it, but the other five, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be some good games. So
And they got a couple good tough computers too. I mean Illinois and Iowa,
yeah,
especially Iowa's defense, and I mean they're gonna have some tough games ahead of them. There are no slouches on the computer games either. So
yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, just before we get to the SEC, like I said, Big Ten here, eight teams. five conference games against humans, 2 against computers, so 7, and then you got your 5 non-conference, where you'll schedule 4 against anyone in the SEC or the ACC, and then 1 against non-conference of your choosing computer game. So 75% of the schedule will be played against human-controlled teams. So, all right, we saved the best for last, and that's not a
This is
pun.
going to be spicy.
That's what I mean. It's the best conference in the world, and it's the best conference in this league. So, not going to keep you waiting any longer. If you've not had your name called yet, then you know you're either in this league or you're on the wait list. So,
Pretty much.
here we go. The SEC. It is the only conference to have all the schools represented from its original conference. So, 10 teams, 2 more than the other 4 have. And that's because you got 8 users in this conference.
Yep.
So the other 4 had 6, that gets you to 24. SEC has 8, that gets you to a full 32. So,
simple math.
Yep, simple math. So you got 8 users in here, 2 computers. You're going to play a 9-game conference schedule. That's more than what the SEC plays in real life. They only play 8-game conference schedule. So you're going to play 9 SEC games. That's going to be 8 against it's going to be 7 against users. That's going to be 2 against computers. Everybody will play the exact same conference schedule, just like the other leagues. So you'll have 7 games against users, 2 against computer. That leaves you with 3 non-conference games. 2 of those are going to be against out-of-conference users, Big Ten, ACC, and then 1 of them will be against, a computer team of your choosing. So yeah, let's just jump straight into this. Now I know I could give you multiple guesses here, and you wouldn't be able to tell me who the computer teams are, because looking at it would be tough. All right,
Yep.
so we'll jump straight into it. We'll start with the Nick Saban-less Alabama Crimson Tide. They're going to be head coached by Beeman. He's following his buddy from Washington, DeBoer, over to Alabama, and going to be coaching. So it's where Beeman's going to be, built by Bama, built by Beeman, Alabama. Auburn is going to be coached by a computer. Kept that rivalry alive there, with Alabama and Georgia. Florida is going to be coached by Wild Dog. I'm sure he might be freaking out a little bit, wondering why he's in the best conference. He's a solid user. He came close to winning his division, making the playoffs. He might have even made the playoffs a time or two in Madden. So just felt that, Florida needed to be in the SEC versus LSU, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss. That was the 11. We had 11 SEC teams picked. LSU really could have been in here instead of Florida, but we just felt like Florida fit a little bit better. And we felt Wild Dog was maybe a little bit better than Minden at this point in time, too, I guess. So, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just saying. I mean, they have to stay in the SEC. I mean,
there's too many
wouldn't be
rivalries.
No matter if I hate them or not, the SEC wouldn't be the SEC without the swamp. So
Yeah. All right, moving on to Georgia. No guarantee. Coastal's buddy couldn't get South Carolina, so he said, "I'll just go take one of our biggest rivals, if not their biggest rival, other than Clemson." say Georgia's probably next. So he's gonna be the head coach of the Bulldogs. So next up, Kentucky. They are Beasley-less. They're not head coached by anybody. It's a computer team. We had to keep them in the SEC as well. Just the rivalries with Tennessee. You know, a little rivalry with Florida. Kind of had to keep it. Missouri gonna be head coached by Butch. Butch gets the Tigers. A lot of y'all probably thought that's where Sundance is, but just want y'all to know that Sundance is a fake ass fan because he didn't even pick his favorite team.
Didn't even get them. He had his
went
mitts
with,
all over them and just
yep,
went, nope.
Didn't want him. So y'all just remember that when he's talking all that shit about Missouri. He's a fake ass fan. Moving on, South Carolina, head coached by somebody that's not a fake ass fan, and that's Coastal. Coastal got his hands on those cocks, and he's holding on to them. So
Wouldn't let him go.
Nope, would not. So yeah, he's the head coach of South Carolina, and Tennessee obviously will be head coached by myself. Don't think it would be a cycle if Vols didn't have the Vols. So kind of told Butch, kind of told Big Mike and Denham to piss off. I was taking them, but they were kind enough to let me have
send
them.
us in a frenzy trying to figure out what other program we're gonna try to fucking run, and we ended up in Arizona and Arizona State.
Yeah, there you go.
It is what it is.
All right, moving on from Tennessee, Texas.
The fake ass UT.
Yeah, exactly. The fake UT. Gonna be head coached by Sundance. Ain't that something?
Oof.
Um,
that's dangerous.
Yeah, I think.
Can you imagine Sundance with them two quarterbacks, whichever one he chooses or elects to use, or both? One this year, the other next.
Yeah, and I mean you're in the pipeline of Texas with the SEC branding. So the first sim I did, Texas signed 3 5-star quarterbacks. I'm like, why? Why'd you need 3 of them? Three 5-star quarterbacks in one class, while they have Manning and which I guess Quinn is graduating.
Would have been gone.
But still, that's just insane. But anyways, and then last but not least, Texas A&M gonna be head coached by somebody that I was sad to not have in our Madden League last year. Joined our Madden League 2 years ago. Did really well. Did a lot of media, just a lot of cool things. And I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with college football. And like I said, I'm glad he's in the league and going to be an admin with us as well. And that's Shadow. So Shadow's back and going to be leading the Fighting Aggies of Texas A&M. So that's the SEC. What's
in all its glory?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on the SEC?
I'm glad I'm not in it, buddy. And JR would say it's gonna be a slobber knocker. I mean, it's just from top to bottom. Even the bums are not necessarily bums. So, and then you got Auburn and Kentucky as your two computer teams, which they're both, historic programs. I wouldn't think Kentucky is, not in football, but Auburn for sure. But Kentucky's always got speed and always got some tough players. So, and then having to schedule 2 out of conference games against other users from these other ones is not going to be any joke either. So I'd probably recommend their computer game, third and final computer game, be an easy one because you're going to have your hands full and you're going to need a damn win. So as far as the teams and the players, disappointed in Beeman taking Alabama. Obviously, we joke about it. We talk about it. From Madden, Beeman always got the best picks. He always got the best trades, always got the best free agents. So what's he do? He fucking takes Alabama. So I would have liked to see him build up the program or take the one that he loves, which is a computer driven team now. And then obviously Butch and Sundance being both in the SEC is going to be fucking hysterical. Especially, getting an Amber Alert at 12:30 at night. Those brothers together. I mean, one of them being a Missouri and the first fucking touchdown deep that Burden, whatever, how the fuck you say his name, catches against Sundance. I know he's just gonna be slinging that fucking controller across his living room, and it's just that brings me so much joy that I can't even explain it. Coastal getting South Carolina, true fan, said fuck it, let me have my team, and then Shadow being Texas area native and getting A&M to battle against Sundance's Texas, and that's just, man, this is beautiful, like the setup in the SEC, which it should be. It should be the cream of the crop, and I think we hit a home run on this one. So
Yeah, I think so. I agree with everything you said. Just a quick note on all the conferences. There's no divisions in any conference. It's all one conference. The top two teams at the end of the year with the best conference record will be the two that head to your conference championship game. Every conference will have a championship game. Every conference will play one. So yeah, I thought that was big. I wanted conference championship games. And then we just felt that divisions were kind of pointless with how we were gonna kind of establish the conferences. So we're at 47 minutes now, so we kind of need to speed this up and wrap it up. Don't want to go over an hour, but
get to the rules.
Before we move on to that, the college football playoffs. It's 12 teams in the game. It's gonna be the first year for it. That's the main reason we went to 5 conferences. Initially, our initial thought and our first kind of, I guess, our plan, our first realignment was going to be 4 conferences with 8 teams in each, with some divisions. And then we just thought that's not going to work. And this is why it's not going to work. That's why you got to have 5 conferences. The rules of the college football playoff states that the top 5 ranked conference champions get into the college football playoffs. Automatic locks. Doesn't matter it doesn't matter what conference you're a champion of. If it's a Division 1 conference and you're one of the top 5 highest ranked teams, you're in. So if we only had 4 conferences with humans, controlled teams in it, that meant one team automatically was going to qualify that didn't have a user in it. It's going to be a computer team. And our goal is to prevent as many computers as we can into the college football playoffs. And we feel that this gives us the best chance. So the 5 automatic slots will be, you would assume, would be from our 5 conferences. I'm not going to say that it might not. I mean, it very well could not happen.
But we've done everything we can to
we've done
try to prevent it.
But that's our goal. Hopefully that's the way it works out. We'll see. Like I said earlier, everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the mouth. So that's our plan. And then the next 7 spots go to the highest ranked teams past that. So, and again, we hope that those next 7 teams will be 7 controlled teams by us. Very well could be possible that 2 or 3 computers not get in. But that's okay if it happens. At least it's 2 or 3, and not
half of it.
6. That's
because if we would have done 2 big divisions, that's only 2 guaranteed users getting in.
Yep.
And then we're gonna beat up on each other all year, so our records are gonna be shit. So then you would have had 6 or 7 computers in the playoff. I mean,
Right.
it's just not. We just felt this was the best way to handle it, and if we're wrong, then we're wrong. But we ran every
Then we'll,
simulation and
we'll
run the
real
numbers as many times as we could. So
right. If we're wrong, we'll take it and we'll realign after the first
yeah,
season. So,
I mean,
because realignment, this is what
it'll
we're starting.
happen.
It's what we're starting with. Doesn't mean that these are locked in for the cycle. We easily could realign going into season 2 if we feel like a move needs to be made.
Oh,
If
the Big
somebody,
12 or the Pac-12 builds up a program that deserves to be moved up, and
yeah, then
somebody has
we'll move them up for
ruined
sure.
one and deserves to go down, very well might happen.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
100%. We've got the freedom to do that. So, um, all right, let's jump into these rules real quick. So, all right, so advanced schedule. We're gonna stick with what we had. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're gonna stick with Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Playbooks. Offense will be no customs allowed. You will have to pick a playbook that is made already in the game. A team, not your team specific book, but a team specific book. If you're Tennessee, you can use Air Force's playbook. It just has to be a pre-made playbook. It can't be a custom, or it can be one downloaded. And then on defense, you can pick any playbook you want, custom, whatever, whatever you want to do on defense. So to start season 1, we're going to start with 6-minute quarters. We felt that 8 in college games really fast. Felt like 8 was just way too long. As far as like a lot of points being scored.
yeah.
Um,
We don't want 80 and 100-point games,
yeah, you're up
which
and
is
down the
what would
field.
happen.
Yeah, you're up and down the field a lot. The clock stops with first downs. After 2 minutes. Just a lot of times the clock stops in college versus the NFL. So it's going to be 6-minute quarters with no acceleration clock. So the acceleration clock will be turned off. You will not have the 20-second accelerated clock like you did in Madden. We're going to turn that off for purposes of different schools that choose to, run the hurry up scheme or whatever it may be. We're going to have that off. So difficulty. I know a lot of people were worried about Heisman. Me and Beeman played a couple nights ago on All American, and then we played on Heisman, and we literally could not tell a difference in the game, human to human. You can definitely tell a difference when you're playing the computer on All American versus Heisman, but playing somebody else on the All American difficulty, you couldn't tell a difference. That's why we made the decision to go with All American difficulty. So it's going to kind of help y'all out against the computers. I know some of y'all were worried about it. Again, this is what we're starting with: 6-minute
Yep.
quarters, All American difficulty. It could
Changes
change.
can happen.
Week
So
2 could be 7-minute quarters and Heisman. It just depends. Um, I don't think we'll make a drastic change on difficulty that quick. Quarter length definitely could happen that first week if we get a lot of complaints like, hey, 6 minutes was not enough. Then we're prepared to go to 7 minutes, but I don't think anything over 7 will happen. Cooldown and limits on your play calling. We're going to stick with what we had on Madden. It's going to be 5 plays on a cooldown. So you pick a play, you got 5 plays before you can pick it again. And we're going to limit your plays to 3 times that it can be selected. Now, again, if this messes, if like hurry up or the turbo function in the game messes with this, we'll look at it and we'll readjust. But for now, it's what we're going to start with. New 4th down rule for college. Completely different from the one in Madden. So listen up. 4th down, anytime you are across the 50-yard line in your opponent's territory, you can go for it. Anytime. You get one coach's decision for the game. Not one per half. You get one for the entire game. So if you're across the 50, you can go for it. If you're not across the 50, you have a coach decision that, hey, I think I want to go for this. But just use it wisely, because once you use it, you got to punt. You can't be going for it on fourth if you're not across the 50. And then let's see here. Third quarter, if you're down more than 14, so 14 points or more, you're permitted to go for it at that point. And then fourth quarter, if you're down anytime, doesn't matter what the score is, if you're losing, and I would even say if you're tied, you can go for it. How do you feel about tied? We didn't really discuss that, but kind of making a decision on the
Yeah,
fly. I mean, I think tied's fine. People
Yeah.
call it. I mean, it's college. It would happen. So we'll go fourth quarter tied or losing. You can go for it. Scheduling. We already kind of talked about that, so we're good on that. We'll kind of talk about the end of the scheduling at the end of this. Custom coaches. You got to have a custom coach. We were just made aware about an hour ago that there is possibly a glitch with custom coaches. So we're going to kind of see how that works out. The game was released today, so we're hoping maybe a day one patch is going to come tomorrow and could fix it. Not seeing a whole lot of people complain about it, but I have seen 2 or 3 people on various applications complain about it. But essentially, once you get to 20 custom coaches created, you can't create anymore. Locks your account or locks your dynasty up, and nobody else can join with a custom coach. I've seen one where they had 32 custom coaches, and it was like giving losses on games, even though they were played and a team won. It's just some weird stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Hopefully they'll fix it.
Yeah, if they don't fix it, we're still prepared to start the league by like Monday. It's kind of the goal. If they don't fix it by the time that we're ready to start, then we're just gonna figure out the 12 worst teams, or not the 12 worst teams, but the 12 teams that we feel okay having just a regular coach. Obviously, we're not gonna have Michigan or Ohio State or
Yeah.
Texas
No,
or
no
Georgia.
Dion.
Definitely Georgia. Yeah, Colorado, stuff like that. So we'll figure it out. We've got a plan, kind of working on it. So we'll see what happens. No safety at sub linebacker position. It's going to be the same as Madden. Position changes is also going to be the same as Madden, with the exception of an athlete. If you recruit an athlete and they commit, whatever their tendency is the position they play. So if you recruit an athlete and he commits, and his tendency says scrambler, he's a quarterback. He's not a running back. He's got 95 throw power and 99 speed. He's a quarterback. Don't put him at running back. If you recruit a guy and it says run stopper, he's a linebacker. He's a defensive lineman. Depending on his size, that's up to you to decide. If you put a 6'1", 210-pound guy at defensive tackle, you probably screwed up. So use your brain, be smart, put them where they need to go. Don't be trying any fishy crap, because I ain't afraid to take scholarships away. Think the NCAA's bad. You ain't seen me. All right, play calling. It's college. We really want a relaxed gameplay environment. We're gonna be really, really, really relaxed on play calling. With that being said, we don't want to see the same play called over and over and over. We don't want to see the same, crossing routes called over and over and over. Mix it up. Do what you need to do. But we're going to be pretty relaxed on it. Schemes, I think, are very important in college football. A lot of these spread offenses, they like to run the hurry up. So there's not going to be a rule against hurry up. If you run the hurry up 100% of the time, it is what it is. You're not doing anything wrong in my eyes or the admin's eyes. You're probably going to have a lot of injuries.
Yeah, it's definitely going to affect with the wear and tear on here because this wear and tear is bitch.
Yeah. So just
So
keep that in mind. They have a hurry up and then they have a turbo, which is even more insane.
have
But
some depth on your team.
we're going to give you that option to run it. Chew clock. We're not going to allow chew clock unless it's the end of the game and it needs to be on.
Some nil situation or running
the clock out, whatever. But
or if
we
your
don't.
opponent requests it like in the fourth quarter because they're getting their ass whipped and they're ready for the game to be over, then maybe then. But
Right.
no early game or
don't
first
start
half or none of that shit. Leave chew clock alone.
Yeah, don't catch the kickoff and first play come out and run chew clock. If I don't know if anybody's gonna be running the triple option scheme, but that the hurry up kind of goes with the spread offense, kind of hand in hand, and I feel like the chew clock kind of goes with the triple option hand in hand. Kind of fought for that a little bit, but we ultimately decided to leave chew clock alone. So you run triple option, you just have to kind of manage the clock on your own because it's no accelerated clock either. So playmaker, it's banned, still banned. So do not use it. And then the last thing is streaming games. We've always in Madden did the home team streamed. We're going to keep it that way again. Home team streams. If they ask, if you're an away team and you get asked, hey, do you mind to stream? It'd be nice of you to stream. Try to help them out, stream it. With that being said, if week 1 you were playing the computer and you're playing on the road, you're the away team, if you send me a message and say, hey, I didn't stream because I'm the away team and you're playing the computer, I'm not even gonna reply. I'm immediately kicking you out of the league and removing you. Please don't be stupid. Stream your game. I don't care if you're an away team, home team. When you play the computer, stream your game against the computer. You only play the computer once. You don't start it up, get your ass beat, quit, try to go back in. Play it once, you stream it. If you can't follow that, then you won't be in the league long. So, other than that, it's pretty much all I have. There'll be some channels popping up in Discord over the weekend. I'm going to create everybody a team channel just like we had in Madden for college. That way, you can post in their scheduling issues, gameplay issues, whatever. That way an admin can see it. That way, we're not having to play the, hey, so-and-so DM me, here's the screenshot. Just put it in your channel. Everybody, all the admins can see it. It'll help us stay on the same page. So, same thing as Madden last year. But all those will start popping up. The rule book will pop up in Discord. I'll tag everybody in it. There'll be a NCAA like chat lounge pop up, an NCAA announcement channel. That's about it. Just really team channels, NCAA announcement. The rule book will just be under the rules tab that we already have, and then the NCAA chat. Yeah, that's it for now. We might create like an NCAA media page or clip page or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. You got anything you want to add before I kind of wrap it up with the scheduling?
No, I mean just be patient, guys. I mean it's been 11 years. So we're doing the best we can. We've run as many simulations as we can, and once we get everybody in there, we'll see how it acts, and hopefully it does. We've got it on paper looking good, like I said. So we'll we'll see how it goes once we get in there. If we have to restart, we have to restart. Obviously, we don't want to do that, but just stay positive and let's play some fucking college football, man. I think I'd get to say that ever again. So.
Yep, for sure. All right, so we're coming up at an hour and 5 minutes. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Just the last thing I wanted to say was, or talk about was scheduling. So as we were simulating some stuff, we realized that the commissioner has to schedule, has to customize the non-conference schedule for everybody. That's going to be fun. I'm the only person that can do it. I can't add, you know, other commissioners and them have access as well. The owner of the league has to be the one to customize it. So,
Yep. So we're gonna have to get those in a timely manner, or we're not even gonna be able to start.
yeah. So the team,
So
yeah, team channels that I mentioned, that's going to be kind of where you will post, hey, I reached out to Denham. I want to play Denham this year if you can make it happen. I'm going to take all requests and make all those requests happen as much as I can. But, you know, some of them I won't be able to make happen. If I can't, then you'll just get somebody else. I'll try to give you a choice, but if I can't get a hold of you, or if I'm just running short on time, you're just gonna be stuck with what I can try to figure out. I'm gonna be as fair as I can to everybody. Um, Non-conference wise, as far as humans and computers go, I'm gonna be fair and do what I think's best. So, but yeah, you're more than welcome to reach out to your fellow members and start talking about, hey, you want to do I recommend trying to do a home and home agreement. You know, I'll go to your place this year if you'll come to mine next year or whatever.
yep.
So start trying to work on that for the first season because I can customize the non-conference in the first season. So um, start working on that, and when your team channel pops up, post it. If you don't post anything about, hey, I want to play such and such, you're gonna get what you get. So don't come to me complaining about a weak schedule or overpowered schedule, or however you feel about it. So, all right, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, man, that's it. I mean, I appreciate everybody. I hope you actually listen to the us dumbasses talk for an hour and a half. If not, then I'm sure we'll be posting all this in the announcements. But um, it's go time, man. Let's get this shit underway. Let's do what we need to do. We need y'all's help. We need y'all joining the league in a timely manner. We need scheduling your games in a timely manner, and let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm gonna add. You said scheduling. Schedules can stay the same. We'll advance. We talked about the advanced schedule already, but when we advance, you got 24 hours to schedule your game and post it. Schedule locks after 24 hours, and we'll advance. So make sure you're scheduling your games and make sure you are doing your recruiting because you do not want to take a forced loss and not get on and miss your recruiting too. So it's gonna be my warning to you. So other than that, that's all we got. Appreciate you tuning in. Excited to get another cycle of MHU started. This is just the college version, so that's it. So we'll catch you next time on another episode of College Cast or Madden Cast or whatever this is going to be called for the college side of things. So until the next episode, this is Balls for Denham signing off.
See you guys.
See ya.